when it's so important, that impression and how you want to come off, right? I want to come off professional 100%. And I used to think that you couldn't come off professional if you were putting my style out there. And I have since learned that's not the case, which is exactly my collection and my jewelry.
This is Get Unstuck Podcast, a podcast for entrepreneurs who prioritize their life first, business second. I'm Mutita Panmuk, your host, who dedicates my life to designing and building a business that supports lifestyle. We will learn together from entrepreneurs around the world how they overcome their life challenges, their business obstacles, and yet still get unstuck from the hamster wheel of burying themselves into their business. Because time is the number one commodity in the world that you cannot get back once it's gone. So let's shorten the learning curve and see how can we prioritize better. Let's get unstuck. Hi, Get Unstuck Nation. Amity Gleason brings over 20 years of fashion merchandising and customer service expertise to partner with her clients to create jewelry that harmonize with your style, budget, and lifestyle. So literally how to bring your dream jewelry design to life. I'm so happy to speak with her today. So we're gonna learn about when we scroll at any celebrity jewelry design, or every time that you check on Pinterest about how you're gonna dress up, but you're not really sure where to find these type of earrings, or you know what I mean. But right now you have the expert here with Get Unstuck Podcast to ask, how am I gonna start the custom design and how can I have it? So without further ado, please welcome Amity to Get Unstuck Podcast today. Hi, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me and that wonderful introduction. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm so excited because I literally cannot live without any of this thing. I need sparkle around me.
I am right there with you. I just don't feel whole. I don't feel myself. I walk a little bit taller. I speak a little bit more outgoing when I've got my, jewelry, or I feel good. And I'm lucky I had 3 girls, so they all love the glitter too.
Oh my gosh. See, you already have someone share things with you. Oh, that's going to be fun. So, Amity, how did you get into this entrepreneurial journey though?
It's kind of a wild story. I'm going to keep it short, but many moons ago, before children, I was a criminal defense attorney, a lawyer. And I've always had this sort of bright, sparkly, colorful, alternative, more gothic, spooky sort of style. And I couldn't wear that in the courtroom. I could wear suits. I could wear pearls, which pearls definitely have their place. But I couldn't, I didn't always get to feel like myself. And I always say that in that time in my head, I invented my first piece of jewelry, which I always still wear. It's a vampire fang ring, but it still looks natural. Nobody could tell. And sort of, I had kids, things changes. I left the law and I started learning all about jewelry making, how it works, making connections with great minds and stone dealers and gem cutting, sort of the entire process. And I was still working in operations. And a year ago, a little over a year, it was my kids need me more. My parents were starting to need me more. I had to move them out here and I needed more flexibility, even though becoming an entrepreneur is way harder work. But it did afford me more flexibility than a corporate job did. And I was like, why have I been waiting all of these years? I couldn't find what I wanted when I went and got engaged 13 years ago and had my Halloween wedding. Why have I been waiting all this time? So it was the time I stopped, left corporate. I went all in on this. So I know there's other people like me out there. Obviously, I've been helping all of them. And I just went for it. So I can put meaning and stories behind these pieces. Or if you've got inherited jewelry from your grandmother or something like that, that I can rework into a piece so it's not sitting in a drawer. You can wear it every day. Especially if you think about weddings, people spend months or years planning this beautiful wedding. It's one day, maybe 2. We wear this jewelry for the rest of our lives. Every day you're looking at it. So instead of just going into a store and picking out something that, hundreds of other people in the world have, this is a way that you can truly make your piece special or incorporate your story or your partner's story into it. So I know that was not as short as I wanted to, but it's so important to the mission behind it.
How normally when a person really want to create some piece of jewelry, so for example, a ring, like an engagement ring, when you mention about story, how did you ask your client or customers?
Yes. Oh, yeah. That's so important. So in the consult, you can book a free consult on the website, but that's always, how did you meet? What are your common interests? For example, I mean, I just try to find pieces of the story that we can pull out. So for example, I live in Colorado, so there's lots of mountains. So we get a lot of, mountain type inspiration. A lot of people over here, they got engaged on a hike. Okay. So they were hiking, they got engaged, and they carved their initials into the tree where they got engaged. When we made the wedding band, we went back and got some of that tree and we inlaid it into the band. Yeah. So we put some of that in there. So there's always some sort of way. Right now, this couple is very like Star Wars and Marvel focused. And we are incorporating these like baguette diamonds to represent like lightsabers and just really putting it in for their meaning and what connects them. And a lot of the times we get to do birthstones. People want to incorporate their partner's birthstone or their mom's diamonds. We do a lot of that. So anything like that, I mean, it's just so deeply meaningful. And the stories behind it, it's really art at that point. It's not something, you just walked into a store, saw in the glass case and bought on the spot. You had a step in the entire process. I mean, one of my favorite parts is once we've got the design, we've mocked it up in the computer in the 3D program, I will 3D print a resin prototype of it. And they literally get to wear it, try it on. I mean, it's just, resin, but they'll try it for a few days. I had 3 different versions for this last client because they weren't sure how thick or where they wanted the stones. And they wore them for like a week trying to decide. But you're really getting exactly what's perfect for you. Or especially, I mean, is it going to catch on your hair or your gloves? I mean, I can't tell you how many doctors and dentists I've seen with the giant rings up here, and then they can't wear them because they wear gloves. They wear those gloves all day, right? So it's really a matter of, is it fitting in your lifestyle as well? There's so many things to take into consideration. I make sure that that's there for them. We're going through this really special process.
I think this is something also that many people can decide. Should I go with pearls, with gems, with stone, or with diamonds? Like that's sometimes I cannot make decisions. It's too many options.
It is. And that actually brings me, I mean, we were talking a little bit before that. That brings me right to that point that custom is amazing. It does have so many options. I mean, I will hear that from people. They're like, oh, so many choices. So when I have a client like that, I'll try to rein it in, but I will have that client that I order 20 different diamonds for, and we will hand pick, or 20 different shades of blue sapphire or something. But for those people where it is a lot of choices, I will be having designs that are really alternative Victorian Gothic lace inspired for people, and they can just change out the color of a stone or change the metal or something. So it's less decisions. But as far as when you're talking about, oh, so many decisions, well, that's where I'm here to guide you, right? Whenever I see a customer or a client that's going to be overwhelmed, well, then I'll pick out the stones. I've got the expertise. I know the right ones. I know what we're looking for, right? I mean, I can tell if the customer is really going to want to be involved in every single step of the way. But there's also a time when a customer brings me an idea, which just happened, and it was something I had never done before. And I brainstormed, and we are making it happen right now. They own a honey company. So actual honey, raw honey that they do sourcing from bees, etc. And we were like, how can we incorporate honey into jewelry? And I was like, well, without it melting outside or dripping, or what can we do? And I didn't want to just go sort of a resin route because that's not long lasting. So we really, it's all about this. Like if someone brings me an idea, I would have never made a honey jewelry piece without that client, or I just made a panda themed constellation wedding band that I just posted on there. I never would have come up with that on my own. And it's like one of my favorite pieces. And side note for the honey, we're dehydrating it. and then inlaying it into like a honeycomb type design. It's going to be very, very cool. But it's just all these things that you're not going to find or you didn't even think were possible are now possible. It's accessible. We can do it. We just need a brainstorm.
Wow, it's so science. Like this is like a science project.
I do have to reach out and like to different experts and things. Yes. Because the honey, it was very tricky, but the breast milk jewelry is a big thing. A lot of people will save some and have it set into jewelry, and that's a liquid as well. And I realized we dehydrate it to set it. So why don't we do the same thing with honey? So it's just, I don't like to say no. It's more of a let's try to figure it out if it's possible.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. So, what about personal colors? Have you heard about it?
Like what colors like look best on someone, you mean?
Yeah, like when they have done it. So, do you think it matters on the person to make them feel more confident choosing the colors of the jewelry that they were wearing?
It's literally up to the person. So I do hear that all the time. Oh, I don't look good in that color, or I can't wear that color. Well, I will absolutely respect your decision and what makes you feel comfortable. Personally, my opinion is anybody can wear anything. I will wear every color in the universe. But there are definitely colors that I don't gravitate to as much. Like I don't personally wear as much, not on purpose. It's just I'm sort of drawn to other colors more. And you can definitely respect that. I mean, there is all of that, science related to it, depending on your undertones, right? And the color and you can tell by what color your inner veins are, whether more of a silver tone or a yellow gold tone will look good, or if you can wear both. So I say I'll wear anything, and I will. And I'll wear yellow gold and I'll wear white gold. I love it all. But when you put rose gold on me, it sort of disappears. It just it doesn't do anything for me. So I say I'll wear anything, but then I really don't wear rose gold just because every time I wear it, I don't feel that thing that like putting on makeup or a fun outfit or jewelry can do for you, right? So you definitely want to make sure your client is feeling it. They're wearing it all the time. You want this to be, I mean, we don't always just make bridal jewelry, but even statement pieces or whatever, you want to have a really good feeling when you're putting it on after this time investment that we made.
Yeah, I have exactly the same feeling with you on the rose gold. It's not showing anything appearing on my skin as well. It's not. Yeah, I can wear either silver or like white gold or golden. Yeah, like this one, but like rose gold not really works on me too.
My mother loves rose gold, so everybody's different. And, we want to be able to be there, for everybody. So again, whereas I will be launching a collection where people can be made to, or, order right there or just change a couple things. But my mission I'll still, of course, be doing custom, but the mission is still going to remain the same. If someone's seeing it and they're like, man, I wish that had a blue stone, you message me, we're going to make it happen. Right. So it's just trying to make the process easier and have sort of those dream pieces that have been floating in my head that you don't see out there. I mean, this is elevating that Victorian Gothic style into very high-end black diamonds, salt and pepper diamonds, black hearts. We've also got all of the rainbows and purples and red, ruby, a lot of rubies and black. So really fun things.
Wow, that's gonna look amazing. The dark red rubies. Wow, that's gonna be very expensive.
So pretty. Well, it could be. Yes, I am a huge proponent of lab stones, which you will not hear from most jewelers. You won't hear that from most jewelers. Want you to buy the natural stones and everything. I want people to get what they want. All right. I don't want cost to be a hindrance. All right. And we can get lab stones are better quality. They are exact same chemical composition, right? And you can get larger, prettier, better quality stones. So for less money, right? So I love lab stones. We, of course, do non-lab. I've done natural mined stones. A lot of times, if it's a specific color, you can't find in lab. But most of my designs will be either moissanite, which I love moissanite. The rainbow sparkle, like the rainbow sparkle is so pretty, even though it'll still look white or black, or it comes in colors, or lab stones, just because I want more people to be able to experience them. Plus, I'm going to have all those financing options on the website too, just for accessibility. So it's less of a hindrance. People can, I want.
What is it that for a person, let's say like just graduate or something, even like high school, but just want to start styling themselves?
Mhm.
How can they just get started into the jewelry world? What would you suggest?
Yes. So get started into more styling or into creating jewelry?
No, get into like the first jewelry. What should they pick?
Ooh, oh, the classics. Yes. Oh, that's a great question. So, I mean, if they're young and just getting into it, right out of high school is when you really start to maybe even experience that you can buy your own things or maybe experimenting with style. It depends on your style. So, I will always recommend, and pretty much every jeweler will recommend, you have your classic studs just for every occasion. You need more than just this. Your classic necklace or bracelet, those classic pieces, which I am actually bringing the classics in my collection, but in black, not white diamonds. They're going to be black diamonds. So, because that's not what's out there. You can buy your diamond studs. Everyone talks about diamond studs. They're white. Oh, no, we're going black or hearts or coffin shapes. But always those. But some of my favorite pieces that can really make me feel good is layering necklaces. Of course, I only have one on right now, but I love to have, like a tighter one and then one like this. And then the third one, even if I don't wear earrings or anything, the layered necklace always makes me feel very put together. So I love, and you know what? You can with earrings too. Earrings can make me feel very put together. But there's something, a lot of times my hair might cover my earrings, but my necklace will always make me feel good together. And hoops. I think classic hoops. You need your studs, you need your hoops, right? Depending on the vibe. And you can make a lot happen with those pieces.
Yeah, hoop is something that you can keep it in your bags every time. Like if you miss something, you just put it on.
I know hoops go with everything. So that is, yeah. The hoops, I do keep a pair in my car just in case I forgot. Like hoops, you can never go wrong.
Yeah. What about when they start like to be more professional, let's say, but also want to be in like a little bit cheating on the style? Like I want to incorporate this, but also be professional. What would you suggest? What type of pieces that should be?
That is exactly what I went through as an attorney and sort of what almost my whole mission is based on, right? Is that I don't have to compromise my style, but I do need to compromise with the world and the profession. I mean, we do need to live in it. And while we are getting more acceptance as a society, it's still not there. I don't think I could go into the courtroom with purple hair and black make. I just don't think, even in this day and age, that they
I just watched Legally Born another time.
Yeah, I wouldn't be taken seriously, and it's so important, that impression and how you want to come off, right? I want to come off professional 100%. And I used to think that you couldn't come off professional if you were putting my style out there. And I have since learned that's not the case, which is exactly my collection and my jewelry. But there are pieces, and that's a huge thing in my collections and what I design, where that element, that Gothic or sort of grungy or Victorian influence is almost hidden. This ring is that perfect example. You look, it just looks like I'm wearing a ring, but it's actually, I could send you a picture. It's actually vampire fangs. Piece that I did there. And a lot of the pieces that coming out now, or that will be coming out, are very professional looking, but maybe have a black stone or a salt and pepper stone or a coffin cut stone, but they're set in a very professional or classically elegant setting, maybe a bezel set, or sort of those pearls with the Victorian inspiration, but the pearl is maybe the spider's body or something like that. So that is a big thing that I go for, because I am always in professional and I do love that style. There is definitely a place for my bejeweled, bedazzled skulls everywhere. There's 100% a place, and I will never get rid of those. But there's also that place in me working in high-end corporate and as an attorney and in regional operations and, meeting with doctors regularly and things. These pieces that I know it's there, but they're not going to notice at first glance, or this new, sort of Baroque detailed ornate, pendant, or, the the pearl and diamonds, but they're actually spiders, even though you have to look again to see it. So that's how I am bringing that to the high-end jewelry world, because it's always something that I needed. And there are millions of people out there in the same boat as me. I mean, who doesn't love their, Halloween festivals or events, or the spooky Christmas is a big thing now. I mean, Nightmare Before Christmas, Jack Skellington, that kind of a thing. It's out there for people to like, but it's not in jewelry. And you know what? It's not as much in clothes either. To be honest, I'm a sewer at heart. That's how my whole life I've been sewing things that I couldn't find in the store. But I only like to sew for myself. I don't even like to sew for my kids. So that wouldn't have been good for business, right? But always customizing to find what you want. So, and in this day and age, I mean, think about it. When I was growing up, in the 80s and 90s, there were like 2 colors, 3 colors of shoes. In, 2000 or 99 or whatever, they came out with the 2 different color iMac computers, the big, there's like a green and an orange or whatever it was, right? You can customize anything nowadays because it's shown that's what people want. That is especially what I say. I'm a millennial. I was born the year millennial started. So I'm a millennial and like Gen Z and Gen Alpha, my kids, they want their color or their sticker or their anything. It's not everybody needs the same black computer. I mean, look at how many phone cases there are, right? To customize our phone and things. So it's needed. It's out there. It's what the market wants. It's what I want. So if we can give that to people, I mean, even if they're not finding exactly what they want in my designs, well, great. Let's make your design.
So if they want to work with you, what they need to have as an idea first, like when it first comes to you, what they should have in their mind?
Yes. Oh, that's such a good question. I get questions like that all the time. So nothing. You don't actually need anything. People are always so worried that they need an idea or something like this. That's my expertise. I will lead you through it. I will help you figure that out. I'm working with someone right now who came, they're like, it's my 10-year anniversary. I know I want a new ring. I don't know if I want a new engagement ring or just add another band. I don't know. I was like, we're going to figure it out. And we can. You do not need anything. If the custom process sounds daunting, it's my job to help lead you through it. I don't know how other custom jewelers work, but it's not, you shouldn't have to come in with a technical drawing spec that this is what you want. No, we will figure it out together based on your style, your personality, your stories, and what you want to get out of your piece. We always have inspiration from somewhere. That's how any artist or anything works. So we'll take a look at it and incorporate everything. So you honestly do not need anything. And then on the flip side, me personally, if I were not doing what I do and I was going to get a custom, I'd be like, nope, this is exactly what I want with this color and this and this. That's also okay. There's all types of people. So if custom sounds super overwhelming, we can just talk over a consult and see what you think. Another reason that I am launching more made to order designs. So designs that you may love, but you might have just been like, oh, but I wish that was an amethyst, or I wish that was a black diamond. Well, you're not going to wish that because I'm going to have black diamonds everywhere, but whatever it is, or I wish that was in silver or something. So that, you love the design and it's less overwhelming and you don't have to pick everything, but there's options for everyone. If you've got an alternative interest, it means you probably can't find what you're looking for. And that's literally what I'm here for, to specialize in. I'm not here to custom make things you can go buy at Shane or Kay's or wherever it is. Okay. That's already out there. I'm here to help those of you who are not finding what you want to express your style, because I've been there. I know exactly what it is.
So in case anyone want to work with you, where can they find you then?
Oh, yes. So everything is on the website. It's AmityAlexandraJewelry.com. When I relaunch, it will be AmityAlexandra.com, but it's all going to lead in. And anywhere on social media will lead you as well. It's at Amity Alexandra Jewelry on pretty much every social media. My podcast, it's on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, Pinterest, TikTok, we're everywhere. So you could find me there. And on the website, you can also take a look. We've also got a really cool podcast like Muti does here, where we talk about sort of self-expression and personal style and acceptance. It's called The Gothic Heart, of course. That doesn't sound like the name of a collection of jewelry that might be coming out, does it? The Gothic Heart? Maybe there's a collection coming out. I don't know.
So stay tuned, everyone. And the website will be put around here or in the description or even in the show notes. So yeah, that's definitely, if you have like an ideas or not even an ideas, but you can find what you are looking for anywhere, and custom design is the answer for you. Amity is someone who can help you with that. So definitely book for a consult. The link is down below. And yeah, you have heard from her already that she have been through that, and this is the proof. I mean, I don't know what to say, because like, yeah, it's totally true that you cannot making decisions sometimes when you see too many options, right? You need the expert to guide you through, because she would know what exactly you want eventually, because she would help you decide that. So yeah, definitely the link is down below. So thank you so much, Apiti, to sharing this awesome journey and to inspire people.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
you asked some really, really great questions that I forget to refocus on and remind people, because they are, all of those points that you brought up are things that people need to know. So I really appreciate you reminding me of that, so I can remind myself to share that with people.
No problem, because I just want everyone to be really themselves. And I think to show on the jewelry by the designer who really get to know themselves is like, every time that people ask you, where is this rings come from, right? And you have the story behind. And I decided this with a jeweler that this is the story behind blah blah blah. It's like how to start a conversation. It is so much fun, isn't it?
Yes, I agree.
So definitely, everyone, the link is down below if you want to have a consult. So thank you so much, Amity, for joining Get Unstuck podcast today.
I hope this episode inspires you wherever you are in your entrepreneurial journey, so that you can have your business that supports your lifestyle. Get a show note at getunstuckmethod.com/podcast. Review what we have learned together today and start implementing right now. See it by yourself. The result of your consistent action are worth it. You deserve the freedom to enjoy your life. Until the next episode, let's get unstuck.